Hey everybody, we are back with more Dicing with Death. Silak picks up the horn of stone in both hands and gives a mighty blow. He tries again. Three swift bursts on the horn, and the entire mountain begins to shake. You can feel the reverberations kind of echoing off of the walls. Dust starts to filter down from the ceiling. The birds are going crazy out of their mind. But a few moments pass and everything settles down.
All right. I think I meet.
Oh no! Oh dear God, the
Horn.
internet's gone.
Oh, and the
Or
arrows.
or back. No, it's back.
There.
Okay, cool.
My. I shook the internet with the
The
bellows of the
horn.
horn.
Okay.
All right. So I sprint from the horn to the wall. I climb out of the nest.
Horn in your bag?
I can't carry the horn. I thought we had established that.
Okay.
If I
So
could carry it, I wouldn't have blown it right here.
you leave the horn.
Right?
I don't know. Sure.
Right?
Whatever
You
you
said
say.
it was like
60
too
pounds.
heavy to move.
Size of a small child. You can pick it up and blow it. You could carry it, but it's like, 60 to 60-ish pounds, 80-ish pounds, 100-ish pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's big and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It would slow you. You would definitely be
Yeah.
encumbered.
No, my impression was that I wasn't practical to carry it. So I'm going to climb back out of this nest and make a break for it down the mountainside.
Okay. You head down the mountainside. Is there any particular way you would like to describe yourself going down this mountainside? Quickly, carefully, running for your life,
I
taking
probably
every
want to run for
shortcut?
my life for a minute or two and then realize it's probably better to hide. So once I've cleared the nest, I want to try and hide. I don't want to get dive bombed by a rock.
Okay.
So probably dashing from hiding spot to hiding spot. And then I'll stay hidden for a minute or two, scope out the next crevice or rock or whatever, and then sprint and dive under it, hide in shadows or whatever, and do that for a few minutes.
All right, you spend a couple hours scampering down the mountainside, hiding, looking, waiting, jumping, running, and running, and then hiding, looking, waiting, etc. You don't see any sign of the mother rock anywhere, and your descent becomes fairly quick. I would like a dexterity check, Mr. Mountain Climber Man.
RD. No.
Mm-mm. You slip at a certain point, lose your footing. Give me a saving throw versus death to leap out of the way.
12 is a pass.
Wow.
I'm a priest of death. Your saving throw means nothing to me.
You stumble on some rocks, slide down with the hill, and then before you get to the nasty sharp rocks at the side, you manage to push off and land in a safe spot. You continue your way down the mountain unimpeded. Eventually, you get to the base some hours later. It's a lot faster going down than it is going up, but it's a lot harder on your knees. However, you're not an old man hobgoblin, so you don't mind.
Tumbling proficiency. Holy shit.
As you approach the base of the mountain, I need a perception check from you.
No, 20.
Okay. You get back towards the base of the mountain. And start making for the mountain giant's lair. And you see the mountain giants coming your way, stomping with great speed. You can even feel the ground shake just a little bit. Just you can feel a slight vibration through the ground of their footsteps as they approach you. The lead female, her boobs hanging out.
Oh, wait, she was topless the whole time.
Yeah.
This explains the 13 hotness. I now understand.
Breasts hanging out. She approaches you, hands at her side, and with a look that says, I don't know if I believe you or trust you, and I'm not sure if I want to eat you right now or not. One of those, like, sorts of looks. She says, What was that?
Say, that was the horn of your ancestors, shaking this mountain as your people once did. I have found your grandfather, and I reach into my pocket to pull out the finger bone, and I start walking towards her. Just as Virasi showed me in my mind's eye, at the top of this mountain, amongst the nest of the great eagle.
One of the men
Rest,
behind her speaks up and says, Bash! Is it true? Uh, she picks up the finger bone, turns it in her hands.
the rest of his great remains lie at the top of this mountain, but alas, I was too weak to bring him back to you myself. His horn as well.
You have found the horn, but not brought it to me.
As I said, my puny arms were not great enough to bring it down myself. This is why we must work together in some things, to move great horns and to bring about the fall of man.
Give me a charisma check.
Fuck. This is why I had that call upon faith.
Oh! There are murmuring from the menfolk behind her. She turns around, calls them each in turn, and orders them to start marching up the mountain and to take their favorite clubs with them.
How many giants are there?
There are 4, a woman and 4 men. They're all about 14 feet tall. A little bit terrifying.
Giants.
Would you like their names?
Chiefess, is that what you'd call a lady chieftain?
I just called her a chieftain.
Bash.
Her name is Bash. The men's names are Smash, Thrash, and Slash.
Smash, Thrash, and Slash.
Mm-hmm. They are the Rock Hurler clan.
4 is a clan?
Yeah. Mountain Giants are... They don't have a great population.
It's more like a family.
Yeah. She did refer to the other 3 men as her husbands.
Rock on. My goddess.
Yeah.
I ask if she thinks that the 5 of us can bring down a rock.
Maybe if the bird were tied to the ground. Maybe if it could not fly, then we could easily dispense of it. But it is a great beast with the greatest wingspan of all. I have seen it pick up men. Not your men. I've seen it pick up... What is your hobgoblin word for it? Etin. I have seen them pick up Ettins in their talons and fly them away, dropping them to the stones below.
Ettins are the ones with 2 heads, right?
Yes, yes.
Twice the brains and half the smarts, am I right?
You are a funny little furry thing.
So are we? They're like trudging up the mountain, and I'm probably
The
like sprinting.
3 men are trudging up the mountain. She is staying behind.
I guess I will go with your husbands and show them the way.
You would not be able to keep up.
I shrug and like sort of pace nervously.
Could you at least tell us the way?
Oh, they're still there? I thought they had left.
They have started trudging up, but she has not.
Mm-hmm. Of course, on the southeastern slopes of the summit, I like point. There is a cave that goes straight into the ground, about 10 feet, and within it is the nest and 3 babies. There you will find the remains of your. I should have killed the babies for XP. There you will find the remains of your grandfather and the horn. But I worry for your men if this rock comes upon them. Do you not?
Were you saying something, little one? I. It is not our place to listen to you, little folk. She turns around and says nothing else and walks into a cave. You get the distinct feeling that she doesn't think very highly of you, even though you found this horn.
Yeah. Hey, I passed that charisma check, so at least she didn't eat me.
She didn't eat ya. That counts for something, right?
Yeah, I kind of want her to get disappointed in me. Maybe then she'll take me as her wife, as her husband.
You want death by snoo snoo? Because that's what you're gonna get.
The dream. I'm gonna scramble back up the mountain after the men, I think.
Okay. What's their movement rate? I bet they have some sort of bullshit slower than you movement rate.
Doubt it. Giant. They might even.
They should be faster.
Mm-hmm.
Movement rate is 12, actually. But still, they should be
So
way faster than a person. I'm going to say movement rate for a giant is 14. Or
Okay,
24,
well,
yeah.
What?
They're 14 feet tall. They've got like twice the leg span, you know?
Okay. All right. I got decent con, though, so I can jog and then take breaks and then jog and take breaks. So, but they get ahead of me. But I do follow them up the mountain to make sure they don't. Or if they get eaten, that someone lives to tell the tale.
So you will follow beside them all the way back up?
I don't
Still
think I can
having
keep
no
up with
food?
them.
Okay.
I don't think I can keep up with them.
You won't be able to keep up with them, especially when it starts coming to climbing.
I think this is day 2 since the wolf meat, so
Yeah.
I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah. You
I'm
can
fast.
still function, but you're hungry and your grip's a little bit weak.
Yeah.
So the mountain giants clearly outpace you towards the hills, then up the hills. You can jog and run to keep up with them, but they don't really pay too much attention to you.
I think I stay behind them, so I'm following after them, not moving with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I jog for a while at movement rate 18, get winded, and they pull ahead, and then I catch up, and they pull ahead.
You have the feeling that this is what it must feel like to be a stray dog following after a pack of humans or something. Just with the amount of attention that they pay to you and the way that you're just kind of trying to keep up with them. You get that impression. They ascend the cliffs before you, and they go up ways that you couldn't even have imagined. You know, to you, what is like a cliff that you have to scramble up, they just step up it and keep going. So they climb the mountain with relative ease. You figure this must be why they're called mountain giants. They can just climb this mountain so easily.
You know, it would be great, a fucking piggyback ride.
You watch them from the base as they scale up. It takes them an hour, maybe, to get to the peak of the mountain. These creatures are huge. And they start scattering around, looking on the southeast corner. And you need to give me an intelligence check.
Nope.
Okay. So they're scrambling about, because it's actually on the southwest corner of the mountain.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but you don't remember that. They start looking about for this, And
They weren't
this
even
thing
there
and
to.
that
The
thing.
men weren't even there to hear the directions, were they? Like,
No.
sounded. You said they ran up the mountain face before I even talked to the
Yeah,
woman.
they left before you left, and then you gave her the
Mm-hmm.
directions, and then she did not relay them to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they are scrambling up and looking around. You see
I
them in the
definitely.
southwest corner for southeast
So,
corner for a little bit, and then quickly they shift over to the southwest corner.
okay.
Um,
I was definitely visualizing Southwest in my head, but clearly I misspoke. So it's up
yeah.
to you whether I can remember.
Well, what you said didn't even matter
Yeah.
because they didn't hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that first perception check was to see if you could spot the mountain giants staring at you coming down the mountainside. Because you blew the horn, they heard where it came from. They went out like, "What the fuck? There's the hobgoblin," and they just kind of watched you come down, but they blended in. So
Mm-hmm.
they actually already knew the direction you had come from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe that's another reason why that the giantess was ignoring you, as you said, south one thing and they saw another thing. Doesn't matter, unimportant. Um, but they shift over towards where the baby rocks were, and Mama Rock still does not see them. A few minutes pass, and you see some mountains start to climb down the mountainside.
Do
Some
they have
giants
the
start to climb
horn?
down the mountainside,
Any
and
bones? Did she take my giant finger when I handed it to her?
she did, and then she dropped it to the ground.
Okay. Could I have picked it back up?
Yeah,
Would I have picked it back? Okay.
it's yay big.
Yep. Make some bone powder.
Mhm. Another hour or so passes, and the giants are back. They did in 2 hours and change what took you a day and a half.
Mm-hmm. Did
They
they bring the
are
horn? Did they bring the body or any of the remains?
they have brought the skull and the hips and the
Mm-hmm.
jaw, which detached.
Mm-hmm.
Um, God, it couldn't have just taken them 2 hours. It must have taken them a little more than 2 hours, probably like 4 hours to do all this.
Mm-hmm.
And they come down red faced, huffing and puffing. Uh, one of them, the lead one, gives you like a slight nod of approval as he enters back into the mountain giant cave.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I guess I follow them back into the cave. Now,
Yeah.
see what they have to say.
Uh,
How many? It's been 3 days. We agreed to meet in, was it a fortnight? Yes.
30
Yes.
tides, yeah, one
2
fortnight.
weeks from like 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like 10 days or so.
Yeah. Uh, the mountain giants come back in, red faced, huffing and puffing.
Mm-hmm.
They look to bash the female. They drop these carcasses of rock babies down at your
Oh,
feet,
good.
or at
Mm-hmm.
her feet, um, and they say to her, "Bash, why have we never searched for the horn? It was there. We have gone and retrieved it in one day."
I chime in with giants. I say the goddess did not reveal it until just now.
Bash looks grim, looks at the others, to you.
Mm-hmm.
Her eye twitches a moment, and she looks back to it and says, "Surely this little furry red thing is true." He speaks the truth. The goddess Verasi had hidden the horn away for ages. We have been to the mountain many a time and never found it before. It was not until this hobgoblin came. Ooh. It is not until this hobgoblin came that the location could be found. It is the magic of the gods that does this. We should keep our oath. This furry one claims that the downfall of man has come, that the tiny houses of the people that live in the plains to the east are going to be smashed by us. Their herds will be ours, their fields will be ours. Um, She looks to you and says, "Do you have any more words for us?"
I couldn't have said it better myself. And I guess give the giant a nod.
Hmm.
Say, this is, yes. It is true. I have seen it in my visions. Giants and the lesser creatures, goblinoids, hobgoblins, orcs, all marching together against the homes of men, striking them asunder with great force.
Hmm.
But you need not take my word for it. Have but a little faith and come see for yourself. In 10 days' time, on the northern shore, I guess I like point over the hills, we will assemble the tribes of hobgoblins along with the beasts of the sea, and we will
Hmm.
march against the men. Come with us on this day of glory and see for yourself.
Uh-oh. Stream lagging. Stream lagging. Stream
It's fine.
returning. Cool.
I think I finished my speech.
You did.
I take a knee beneath the or in front of Bash, and I say, "My lady, as I said when I first saw you, you are the spitting image of the goddess herself. You would rally our forces with and inspire them. I would be so honored to have you march above us."
She grunts. Then we shall meet. When shall we meet your friends? Your comrades?
Did I do the math right? I think it's 9. Uh, 9 days. 9 days time. On the bluffs, you will see us. The fires will burn bright, and the banners will hang high.
We shall see you there in 9 days.
Right. At this point, I reach into my pocket and pull out the severed hobgoblin hand, which I command to make the sigil of Verasi. Maybe that's better. That's a V, right?
I don't know. That's
All right.
maybe it's this.
Yeah. So like this limp dead hand, I hold up, and command it to go. May Verasi curse your enemies, and I like wave it in her general direction.
Verasi.
And I stand to my feet. 9 days. I look forward to seeing you, my goddess. And
She gives you a nod of approval as you exit the cave. Well, now this is interesting.
Whew. Yes. I walk somewhat triumphantly from the cave, a little surprised that worked, and that the shit that I've been through these last couple of days, and probably collapse within a couple hundred feet from the cave and realize how fucking hungry I am and how tired I am.
You go, you collapse, you get back to your feet. You don't want them to like come outside to take a piss and see you collapsed like in a bush.
Yeah, so I drag myself south in search of food, in search of the Spiked Foot clans,
You see
in search of anything.
like a plume of dust off on one of the hills to the to the south.
So I slowly start trudging towards that.
Okay. By the end of the day, the plume has more or less caught up with you, and you realize that it was made by the Spikefoot clan as they ride or trudge northward.
That's convenient.
Well, they did hear your horn blast.
Oh, that's true. He did say he would meet me. I'd totally forgotten.
Yep. So you guys meet up that evening. You end up walking into their camp after they've settled for a little bit. Garth, one of the hobgoblins on patrol, spots you coming in. Makes some shout outs. The camp gets up in arms, and it's very quickly settled who you are. Garth approaches you and says, "Ah, Silac, we have heard the horn blow. Have you brought it? Have you retrieved it for the mountain giants?"
I blew it with my own lips and
Excellent.
let the giants retrieve it for themselves. You know how egos can be.
Well,
They will join us. This is a great day for Verasi.
indeed it is. Who else did you say you saw in your vision? What other tribes do we have to rally?
Perhaps the orcs. I must contemplate. What are they like here in the hills?
They are our most annoying enemy. They compete with us for land, for resources, for territory. I would see them crushed.
I must think on this again. See if I can reconjure these visions. Be sure before we approach them. But with the humans gone, why can there not be space for all of us?
One of the other fighters spits on the ground and says, "You even talk like a human. Sharing land, sharing territory, enough space for all of us." Pfft. He turns to Garth. "Garth, I will not follow one who leads based on wants and niceties and getting along with each other."
While he's talking to Garth, I'm gonna slip into the shadows, if I can.
What's your hide and shadow?
Not that good. 20. In any case, I'm gonna try and slip into the shadows and sneak up behind him.
Okay. He seems to notice you moving right away, and just as you move, turns to look at you while he's talking to Garth.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to work at all.
All right.
Garth,
as he turns to face me, I'm gonna toss my crawling claw at him and command it with my mind to choke this guy.
okay. I will give.
Let's roll for initiative or something.
Yeah, let me roll for his surprise. He is not surprised, so roll for initiative. You can still get the throw off before anything else, but no surprise attack. Roll for your initiative, please.
Wait, so the claw goes first, or?
I think you're just gonna win initiative this first round, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not surprised, but you're still initiating, so you win initiative. And go.
So I huck the claw at him, the 13, and command it to. So I don't know is that my attack roll to throw it at him, or attack roll for the
claw to get him, because you can throw it at him. Wherever the claw goes, it moves on its turn to go up to him.
Okay.
So whether you land it on him or on the ground, it still gets its attack. 13 against his studded leather armor is a success.
It's actually not +1 if it's the claw, because that +1 is for my dex. Oh wait, but it might. Does it have a THAC0? Is it probably just THAC0 20?
THAC0 20.
But I don't know if it might ignore armor. Well,
we should figure that out.
We did this last week.
Crawling claw.
Dragons. Crawling claw. It's got THAC0 20. Can leap 15 feet. Are you going to consider studded leather to be only wearing leather? This is against those who are not armored or only wearing leather. It can employ its great strength and a crushing grip.
Yes, I will say crushing grip works on it, but okay. Your 12 is a miss.
How is that
it has AC 13. Yeah.
It still gets the AC, but it would get bonus damage.
Okay. Right, so it's trying to crush. It lands on the hobgoblin, goes up to his arm, and it's trying to just break his hand in its powerful grip. or trying to break his forearm and its powerful grip. But the leather armor is preventing it.
Yeah.
The hobgoblin picks up his, well, I think the hobgoblin freaks out, screams, and tries to rip the claw off of him.
AC 13.
He tries to tear the claw off, but the claw grips to his armor. He's pulling at it, stepping backwards, kind of yelling in terror, trying to rip this thing off of him, but to no avail.
Well, it's nighttime. I can't do spells. I'm gonna cast next round initiative. I guess I'm casting command.
Okay, roll initiative. Your claw will act on your turn.
1.
You go first, then. Holy shit.
So.
Make your claw attack.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Flat d20.
I'll do that, and then I'll think. I'm gonna command him to hold, and we'll see what that does. So I guess give him a sit. So I say hold.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that before or after the claw.
Give me a bonus or anything.
Whichever you want.
I think before the claw.
Okay.
The claw.
He needs a saving throw then.
Yeah, the claw misses.
He succeeds on his saving throw.
Okay. So nothing. The claw isn't able to get a grip. Does he go for?
He tries to rip the claw off again. AC 13, did you say?
Yeah.
He finally gets a hand, pulls the claw off of him, and hurls it towards the fire. No, he misses the fire with the claw. The claw tumbles and rolls to the ground on the other side.
What is the leader doing?
All the other hobgoblins have kind of stepped away and they're watching. Garth has his arms folded, his broadsword, his two-handed sword across his back, just kind of musing and looking. Next round, initiative. Yes.
I think I've only got 1 with the dagger. Ouch. 9.
The movement speed of the claw. 9. It was as fast as a hobgoblin.
Yep, it can leap 15 feet.
Okay. So you go first.
All right, I draw a dagger and I just pounce on him. You said he had a weapon drawn, or was he?
He
just
was going for a weapon, but you get the pounce.
All right.
Roll to hit.
18.
Critical hit.
It's 8. I think that's an arm. So I just plunge the blade into his shoulder as I shout, "I am Hobgoblin. I lead with strength."
Give me 2d4
insulted
damage.
my leadership. Yeah, 2d4. 4 points of damage.
Your dagger rips in between his radius and Ulna, just like actually digging in that spot between the two of them, coming out the other side.
So this is forearm?
Yeah. He yells in pain as the claw comes up from behind him and leaps on his back neck area. Give me the claw attack at +4, because he's not expecting the claw to come back at him, so that's a surprise.
16.
It grabs a hold of him, d6 damage.
Oh god.
It just grabs him by the base of the neck and snaps his brain stem area.
He doesn't die. He's at negative something, right?
Yeah, he's at negative something, but he's suffered serious damage, and the claw... I mean, you told the claw to kill him, right?
Yeah, I call it off, though, on the next round.
Oh, cool. So then he's at negative something damage.
Yeah, so I think I will then kneel over him as I kick his weapon away, and I'm going to Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. He comes back to 1
I
HP.
make a big... Okay. And as he comes to, I stare him face to face, breathing down his nose. I say, "I have brought you back to life, pest. You are now the thrall of Barassi. Did you feel it? Your soul ripped from your body."
He looks weak. He looks exhausted. He nods slowly.
I give him a slap. "Do not question the leadership of your superiors. Follow your chieftain. Listen to his wisdom. And have faith in the goddess. You owe her your life now. And I stand up and brush myself off and realize that there's now a crowd gathered.
A whole crowd has gathered. The entire tribe is, well, not the entire tribe, but 3/4 of the tribe are watching the happenings.
Mm-hmm.
Garth unfolds his arms.
I gesture a come here to my claw, which I command to scamper over and hop back up on my shoulder. And
Garth
then, control of it.
Garth turns around and walks into his tent without saying anything, leaving everyone else to wonder what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
The crowds part, and everyone goes back to what they were doing. The wounded hobgoblin is helped away by some of his friends. And you are left by yourself.
Where's my slave?
It's a good question. You haven't seen her yet.
It's probably only a couple dozen members of the tribe, right? So I can wander around the camp and try and find her?
Sure. You do not see her anywhere in the camp. She must be in a tent or not with the camp.
Yeah, I'm going to take a peek in the leader's tent. Is there any way to knock?
Garth's
or is it
tent?
a tent? Yeah.
There's... No, I don't think... You wouldn't have a way to knock on a tent, would you?
No.
You could
So I guess
hang
I'll
like
just-
a little knocker outside, but that seems kind of silly.
Yeah. All right. So a few minutes later, I'll reapproach his tent. A few minutes after that ordeal, I guess clear my throat as I poke my head in.
You see there is a cage, small, crappy cage with your slave in it. It's on one side of the large tent. The other side has Garth's bed, and there's kind of a table in between them, but up against the back wall, and a chest underneath the table. The chest has a very large bronze lock on it, not brass. Very large bronze lock, and it has it's made of some hardwood with bronze straps going all the way around it. So it's I wouldn't call it indestructible, but it could take a beating.
How does the elf look?
Scared. She sees you. Doesn't really react, and then slides forward and goes, says,
I'm
forgetting your
Does
name.
she have a chance to speak before Garth says anything? I think I gave her a glance, but I think my attention was on Garth. So.
Garth looked up at you, but you guys are having he's giving you a long momentary pause as he looks up to you, and you can hear the elf whisper, oh, Master Silax. Master Silax.
My attention was on Garth. I was looking at her at my periphery.
You don't have to pay attention to her, but she is still...
I am paying attention to her, but I'm trying to convey to Garth that my attention's on him and that she's just a slave. And fronting.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that outburst. I should have asked your permission before.
Permission?
I do not know how your tribe handles these things. Obviously within a tribe, in any case.
You did the best thing possible, I think. A lot
I'm
of them
glad you
have
agree.
questions. They follow the goddess in name, but often they forget to walk the walk. Walk the path that the goddess leads us on. Most of the time they prefer just to cry her name in battle. It is time they had a lesson in her true power.
I nod. Well, that is good then. I nod to the slave. I say, I trust she was to your liking.
I did not traumatize her too much.
I nod. Is there a lock on the cage?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's tied with rope.
Okay.
No,
I
it's
sort of
locked. It's locked.
Okay. I guess there's a pregnant pause while I wait to see if he'll offer her back or if I'm going to have to say, can I have my elf back yet.
A pregnant pause?
Yeah.
Is that
Have
a
you not heard that term? You need to
no?
read more. It's just like a long pause, pregnant, like a big pause,
Okay.
but still full of emotion or something like that. If it makes sense, like a meaningful pause.
Sure, sure.
It's a term.
I
Read
believe you.
more.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes over, seeing you pausing and looking at the cage, unlocks the cage, lets out the half elf,
She's she's
elf.
technically a half elf, but I don't in character. I don't think Silac has registered or
Sure.
noticed or.
He lets out the subhuman or the hobgoblin, the
Mm-hmm.
demiling,
Mm-hmm.
um, and says, "Have you?" Uh, oh no, she's got all your equipment. He points over in the corner and says,
Yeah, it's like my
"There's your
tent and
camping
shit.
equipment."
Mm-hmm.
Slave, he barks in common.
Mm-hmm.
Put up his tent, or I will roast you over the fire. And she scampers away to grab your gear and sets up a tent outside.
I say in common, elf flesh is stringy.
There's a chuckle between the two of you over this as she
So her
flees.
her tongue is more useful than her meat.
Well, still, sometimes you need to give them the stick instead of just the carrot. What he said out there was not untrue. Aside from that moment just then, you seem a little soft. The goddess has chosen you for some reason. Sorry about the barking dog. The goddess has chosen you for some reason, but I am confused as to why she would pick you.
We we hobgoblins are a strong race, a hard race, but the goddess has many worshippers who are strong in different ways. I think it will take some measure of wisdom in addition to strength to unite us. Perhaps that is why I am different.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
But I am still a hobgoblin.
Perhaps. He grumbles to himself and says, rest up.
I,
We will
yes.
see what your goddess has to say in the night.
Yeah.
Dodger. I don't know how to make the dog stop barking so much. I guess I need to. Come on. Dodger. Come here. Come here. Stay here. Chill out, yo. Cool. You go to bed. I think that's just the end of that. I think we just go to next day.
Yeah, so yeah, slave makes my tent.
Yeah.
Um,
Slave makes your tent, and you go to
do,
sleep and wake up the
yeah.
next morning.
Do I want to ask her how her time was with the hobgoblins, or is that going to be too brutal to talk about on stream?
You can ask her. You can ask whatever you'd like.
All right. And once we've got the tent up and we're resting in there.
She tells you that they made her march, a whole bunch in one direction. Then they heard this horn, and they just turned around and started marching back the other way. That she carried your stuff, and that she was the only non-hobgoblin in this entire area, entire camp, and that there were quite a few others that looked like they wanted to eat her and do other things, but the hobgoblin chieftain kept her in his tent the whole time. They weren't marching.
And he treated you well enough?
He locked me in a cage, chained me to it.
Okay. At this point, I'm like, okay. I go back to my meditations.
Yeah. Okay. Next day.
if we want to go to that.
Let's do it.
No dreams, no visions.
Uh, no
Okay.
dreams, no visions.
All right, let's pray for spells in the morning. Cure light wounds, command, call upon faith, and ooh. Oh, what sphere is light? Is that under all? Might be.
Light. I don't know.
Or it might be sun. Stupid.
Light is sun. At least in the player's handbook. If we go by the spells and magic, it is still not all. I think it's sun
Okay.
the entire time through.
Bummer. So no darkness then. Let's do a cause light wounds.
Okay.
Can I channel touch spells through my crawling claw?
Hmm.
Do I need to
No, but it is your holy symbol, right?
maybe I'll need to research an upgraded crawling claw or something like that.
Perhaps. It is also worth noting that if your crawling claw is attacking someone, you do not have your holy symbol to cast spells with.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I hope I didn't break. I guess command. It didn't really matter with the command either way. I don't think command.
Does command require a holy symbol?
Command is just verbal. Okay, so that was fine.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a good point. Well, eventually I'll have more claws, so no worries then.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably what I would have done last night, if it's not too late, is crush up the giant's finger bone into bone dust.
Yep, you could do that. Do you have all the other? Do you need any other components?
Well, I don't have any hands to make claws with unless I'm going to borrow one from my slave.
What happened to the hobgoblin hand?
It's already animated.
Oh, right, right.
But I'm level 2. I could make a second crawling claw if I wanted.
Could make a giant crawling claw if you got back to that mountain.
Yeah. Does that? I feel like that wouldn't work. Like,
why not?
It would have the same stats, wouldn't? Or would you do like a 2-hit die claw instead of
It
one?
would just be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You could animate a giant claw.
That'd be awesome.
It might be a 2-hit die. It might require both your slots to do a giant one.
Cool. All right. How much bone powder do I get from a giant finger bone? I think the last finger bone was like 3 pinches, so maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was
this is like 6 pinches. How many pinches did we say it was to cast it at once instead of as a ritual?
1 pinch. If I
1 pinch for a ritual, right? Hey, Dodger.
A handful to do it instantaneously.
Okay.
Turn around.
So you end up with like a half a handful, also known as 6 pinches.
Okay. Alrighty. Well then, it's a little early, but this seems like a good spot to break, unless you have.
Yeah, let's just break it here. Do we want to end it here?
It's a little early,
It would
but
be early. It would be an hour early.
Yeah, but if you don't have anything to do in the last session, we can just do.
Yeah, I think that maybe we should just end it here. We've been having some stream issues. This is a great closing place.
Yeah, let's do XP.
Let's do some experience and stuff now. So, Kelk, you met the giants. You successfully avoided being eaten by the giants. You treated with them. You got their quest. You went and you retrieved their horn. You avoided a couple of landslides very well. Whoops.
I
facilitated
the murder of rock babies, but I guess
you were not involved.
Should have farmed them myself.
You killed the one guy and kind of gained the respect of the tribe from that.
Yeah, I think the only combat XP is that one hobgoblin.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be sort of up in the air.
Yeah. And in addition to
A couple of rock babies. Did I totally miss out on some good farming?
no.
I thought about poisoning them or something, but
Yeah. So all told, you get 1,030 experience.
nice. So, right. So that will be, let's see, 1582 plus
Yeah.
515. So 7 times 1.1 for my thief. 2306, which is not enough to level. It's 2500 for level 2 as a thief. Yeah.
Yes.
So next session, I'll probably level up as a thief.
For level 3 as a thief, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's it. I know it's a little bit short, but I guess that's what we're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, do you have any things that you would like to say to the people of the internet?
Thanks for watching. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I apologize for the dog being so loud.
Everyone loves dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Next time we will see you guys is maybe next week, but if so, it's going to be like a Thursday or a Friday because I don't get back to Vietnam until Wednesday.
Yeah. So next Thursday would work for me, but otherwise it'll probably be the week after.
Cool. So we'll do next Thursday.
Yeah, shenanigans on the 11th, right?
That's right. So Dicing with Death on the 8th, Shenanigans on the 11th. Misclicks is it's either the 13th or the 20th.
Are you're back to?
Yeah, we'll be doing some misclicks in the near future as well. And if you haven't heard, Hardcore Heroes has been announced. It's the new D&D show where we're going to be taking applications from from the world, from whoever wants to apply. You can send an application, which you can find all the directions on our reddit.com/r/koibu.
Mm-hmm.
Follow those directions to apply, and then you can be if your application passes through the first set of barriers, then you will come in for not come in, but we'll do an on-stream audition, and
It'll
then
be like a mini 1 hour dicing with death, right?
kind of like they'll have to make a character in a limited amount of time, and then they'll play a little bit of their character. These things may change over time as we figure out the best way to really see who's a good player or not.
Sounds like a lot of fun. It's like a reality TV show, but Dungeons and Dragons.
Maybe there. I don't want to. We'll see how it goes. I have a lot of ideas, and I kind of want to let some things be surprises here and there.
Ooh.
So we'll do some stuff, and then 4 people will become players on Hardcore Heroes. And I think if you take a look at the post on Reddit, you'll see some more details about the type of campaign because it's called Hardcore Heroes for a reason. It'll be a very unfriendly game. So check that out. 150-hour stream coming in November. I think it's going to start on November 17 or 18 and then go until like the 24th. Actually, 24th Vietnam time, 23rd rest of the world time, or something like that. Time zones. But that's that. So that's all I've got to say, and we'll see you guys next week for some more Dicing with Death.
What about Love Bites? Someone in chat asks.
Love Bites is coming back too. Love Bites will be the first or second week in October.
So send in your questions.
Yeah, and those questions will be sent to koibu@regalgoblins.com with the subject line Love Bites. It'll be a lot of fun. That's that. See you guys all later. Bye-bye.